powerful moment unfolded inside one of Britain's most historic royal residences, as Queen Camilla used her voice to stand firmly beside survivors of abuse. At 78 years old, the Queen hosted an emotional reception at St. James's Palace on March 10th in London. The event honored International Women's Day while celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Women of the World Organization. As president of the Women of the World Organization, the Queen has spent years supporting women who survived abusive relationships, sexual violence, and other forms of assault. The palace gathering brought together advocates, activists, and public figures, including actress Miriam Margolyes. Standing before the guests, Queen Camilla delivered a deeply moving message directed at survivors everywhere. She emphasized that countless victims carry painful experiences that remain unheard or doubted by society. Her message made it clear that survivors are not alone and that support, compassion, and solidarity must surround them every day. The Queen highlighted a truth often ignored. Every woman carries a story worth hearing. When societies remain silent about violence, that silence creates space for abuse to continue. For 15 years, the Women of the World movement has worked to break that silence by giving women across 6 continents a platform to share their experiences and inspire change. Another issue the Queen addressed was a common misconception surrounding violence against women. Too often, responsibility is unfairly shifted onto women themselves, as if changing their behavior could prevent abuse. She made it clear that this belief is both unjust and deeply flawed. This reception marked the 10th time Queen Camilla has welcomed supporters of the Women of the World Organization to the palace. Her connection with the movement stretches back to its founding in 2010, and she officially became its president in 2015. Since then, she has attended Women of the World festivals in London and events around the world, consistently championing the fight against gender-based violence. Over the years, the Queen has met countless survivors face to face, listening to painful stories and offering comfort to those who endured unimaginable suffering. During the event, she reflected on a recent meeting with Giselle Pellicot. The encounter left a deep impression. Camilla proudly wore a small pin beside her Women of the World badge bearing a powerful message: "Shame must change sides." The pin had been given to her during a tea meeting in London. Hearing Pellicot's story firsthand revealed extraordinary courage, dignity, and determination to change the way the world views violence against women and girls. Her message reinforced the belief that society must move beyond sympathy and actively challenge the attitudes that allow abuse to continue. Changing laws, the Queen acknowledged, is only part of the solution. Transforming societal attitudes remains far more difficult. Survivors can only speak openly when the world is willing to listen, believe them, and stand beside them. Another heartbreaking story also surfaced during the reception. The Queen spoke about meeting John Hunt, whose wife Carol Hunt and daughters Louise Hunt and Hannah Hunt were tragically murdered by Louise's former boyfriend in their home. She also met his surviving daughter Amy Hunt, who attended the palace reception with her fiancé Gareth. Amy spoke about the devastating loss of her family with remarkable courage and dignity. But the Queen's speech did not only look at the past, it also warned about the future. She raised concern about the growing wave of misogyny spreading through online spaces, where many boys and young men absorb attitudes that shape their behavior as adults. Ignoring cruelty and harassment on digital platforms, she warned, could ultimately normalize real-world violence. The message was clear. If society tolerates abuse online, it cannot act surprised when cruelty appears offline. The Queen ended the evening with a call for unity. Every woman has a story, but so does every man. Real change requires collective awareness, education, respect, and kindness toward one another. However, the powerful palace gathering came at a complicated moment for the British monarchy. Just a day earlier, members of the royal family faced protests outside the Commonwealth Day Service in London. Demonstrators referenced the ongoing controversy surrounding Prince Andrew, the younger brother of King Charles III. Prince Andrew stepped back from royal duties in 2019 following backlash over his connection to convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein. His royal titles and patronages were later removed by Queen Elizabeth II. The controversy surrounding the Duke of York has continued to shadow the royal family, fueling criticism and protests whenever the monarchy appears in public. While the royal household continues to face public scrutiny, Queen Camilla's message at the palace focused on something far more important, ensuring that survivors of violence are heard, believed, and never forced back into silence.